Millennium is an era of information explosion with the development of information technologies. Virtual communities are connected across traditional boundaries. People are able to communicate face-to-face without meeting in person. Intercontinental commodities could be transferred with the click of a button. We're experiencing globalization all the time, but are you certain that you received a non-biased education of globalization with respect to information technologies? We're going to address the issues from 3 different points of views: political, economical, and cultural globalization.
As we know, information technology enabled globalization increased opportunities for people to participate and be involved with politics. The variety of people with different backgrounds and perspectives will be participating on politics, and it raises a problem due to the diverse opinions. People tend to form an organization with people with same opinions, and politicians abuse organizations' need to pursue their own goals. In Europe, the election was supported with promises of benefiting for low-paid workers, which led to victory in last year's election. Politicians understood the situation of low-paid workers and abused them by favoring their needs to obtain the vote to win the election. The information technology creates a globalized cyber environment and network. Therefore, leakage of political and confidential information will cause a damage to the public. The web terrorists cause the problematic since informations are stored in network. The organization ISIS and ISIL made an attempt to hack an American electrical power supply companies. This was demonstrated to show the possibility of web terrorists to affect in politics, such as election and revealing confidential information. The other problem rises due to accessing misleading, illegal, and malicious information which affects the political view of the individual. The personalized costume demonstrates the psychological behavior of individual to focus on their own interests and be stubborn to accept other people's opinions. The example was demonstrated during the US presidential election. Trump and Hillary's supporters are extreme and radical. Even after Trump's victory, there was an outbreak of a large-scale procession and launch petition of more than 4.8 million people. This describes the stubbornness of supporters as well as the problem of misleading with the wrong information. Lastly, it shows an inequality during making globalized political decisions. The larger states such as a great nation including China, France, Russia, UK, and US holds a relatively greater power than other smaller states. It creates a restriction for smaller states. As an example, National Command Authority is controlled by US for the law in military defenses, and the other countries are restricted under US's law and needs the approval for their act, such as creation of nuclear bomb. Therefore, the restriction by the other states shows an inequality of globalization.
From an economic point of view, globalization is a phenomenon that intimately linked to trade among nations and various financial markets. The World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and the WTO are 3 most important brand components influence global market. WTO regulates international trades through setting frames and resolving multinational trading disputes with WTO agreements. IMF is set to secure global financial stability, facilitate international trade, and to keep a sustainable economic growth. The World Bank performs in the same manner by providing loans to developing countries for infrastructure developments. Despite the goals are established to reduce poverty and promote global economic growth, many decisions the Bretton Woods system have made committed to the promotion of foreign investment and international trade. For many, the term itself conveys images of hegemony, that is, economic and political dominance by rich nations over smaller nations. Via information technology, financial transactions between countries cross continents could occur by electronic means. Globalization accelerated the flow of goods through compressing time and space. Intellectual products nowadays provide new generation an access to browse the world through screens. Those big words may sound theoretical and irrelevant, but I'm sure you and your friend may use to emphasize the one of the following. Do you know Apple cashed over $181 billion overseas to avoid US corporate taxes? Do you know 500 largest US companies hold more than 2.1 trillion cumulative profits offshore? Do you know about quarter of that amount, which is $549.7 billion is created by technology companies alone? This is an example of tax haven, a negative impact globalization brought to us. Double average with the Dutch sandwich methods were adopted by lots of multinational corporates to minimize taxes. This activity arranged transactions between subsidiary companies to take advantage of the very national tax laws. And it's most prominently used by tech companies because they can easily shift large portions of profits to other countries by assigning intellectual property rights to subsidiaries abroad, famously used by some of the largest companies as Google, Apple, and Microsoft. This loophole is terminated in 2015. However, arrangements made by tech companies already prepared them up to 2020. Another economical globalization product is Bitcoin. It's innovative, fast, cheap, and reliable. However, criminal activities on darknet with financial fraud using Bitcoin alerts legislative bodies. With lack of regulation, characteristic of untraceable, Bitcoin promotes illegal goods trade and the platform of money laundering. Large companies also use Bitcoin to avoid taxes. Bitcoin extends a new business limit for treatment, but also influences normal international trade. Taxes avoided by business giants interferes the ordinary welfare as employment insurance, medical insurance, and education benefits. Emerging global economical activities not only bring new opportunities, but also financial threats developed via internet. Extreme caution to be taken care for financial investment. We will discuss the impact of globalization on cultural aspects in the following slide.
Cultural globalization refers to the transmission of ideas, meanings, and values around the world. There are many factors that have enabled this process. Information technology is definitely an essential one. We have to admit that information technology enabled cultural globalization allows organizations and individuals to promote their ideas and values easily. But it is important to point out that the information being spread out is not necessarily true, and nobody holds responsibility to that. Nowadays, because of the fast-paced living style, people lose their patience to research and usually believe the most widely spread information without confirming. However, the information they believe may be old, untrue, or exaggerated. For example, there are lots of misleading information in movies and TV shows. With the help of internet, people are able to enjoy any of their favorite programs at any time. Watching shows and movies have become more than an entertainment, but also a media from which people learn about the rest of the world. Some producing companies are very good at implanting their ideas and values in the movies to affect how the viewers think. However, because most of the movies and TV shows are fictive, the information they give out are not necessarily true. In most of Hollywood movies, gangsters are either Italian, Chinese, or Russian. Drug dealers are mostly Mexican. Indian characters in almost all shows have strong accent. These stereotypes are widely spread by information technology and the viewers, especially children. People may judge others by their backgrounds instead of spending time to know them. It can further result in social isolation of people with those backgrounds, even if they did nothing wrong. Cultural globalization can also result in cultural invasion. Information technology even enhances that. Looking at today's world, brands like McDonald's, Starbucks, and Nike have become part of people's life in almost all countries. Some people even call the cultural globalization McDonaldization. The reason behind is that these big companies have abundant resources to promote their products and values by using information technology. These multinational brands not only edge out local industry as mentioned previously, but also start to replace important position of traditions in people's heart. For example, when McDonald's first opened in China, it not only brought burgers, but also brought the culture of fast food, and it directly led to change of traditional Chinese food culture. With the help of information technology, foreign companies can spread their advertisements through TV and internet to attract customers, especially kids. More importantly, some of their advertisements are trying to impose their values to local people. A As shown on the screen, in this Coca-Cola advertisement, it's expressed that Coke is a part of Chinese New Year celebration. The happy faces in this thing make it seem not a big deal. But after watching this kind of advertisements year after year, the future generation may forget old traditions and they may end up with celebrating Chinese New Year with cups of Coke and all the fast food. This will accelerate the loss of traditional culture, which is also a loss for the world's cultural diversity. The above examples show that with developed information technology, globalization helps spread misleading values and reduce cultural diversity of the world. And that world is not where we want to live in.
Globalization compresses time and space, allowing goods and information to flow faster than ever before. However, this compression is both a blessing and a curse. In terms of politics, information technology-enabled globalization intensifies the instability of political system at home and magnifies the inequality on the international stage. Economically speaking, cyberspace enables a new platform of global financial crimes. From a cultural point of view, globalization weakens people's cultural identity and exacerbates stereotypes of certain cultures. Globalization is about patterns of connectedness, but also patterns of inequality. Therefore, we believe that information technology-enabled globalization does not necessarily make the world a better place to live.